You have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
I
know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before.
Tell him the story.
Tell him the story. So we talking about rumors, right?
Yeah.
And we, when you Google his name, there's a rumor that pops up that he was Diddy's boy toy.
Oh shit.
Right?
Wait, so this is...
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
For me, you already knew the type of nigga before you got here. Don't play. Relax and
Another rapper is doing his best to distance himself from Sean Diddy Combs after the music mogul was arrested and charged with racketeering and crimes. We're taking a close look.
Clip 150 Cent's documentary doesn't ignite gossip. It reopens a chapter hip-hop quietly buried beneath success and selective memory. For years, the relationship between Diddy and Meek Mill existed in a gray zone, visible yet unexplained, public yet guarded. Old appearances and casual moments are now revisited with sharper context, transforming what once felt routine into something uneasy. When influence circulates unchecked for too long, the question shifts from what happened to why no one asked sooner and who benefited from the silence.
Meek Mill's. Well, he said a Philly rapper. You understand? And it was redacted in the paperwork to that because first of all, it had Meek Mill's, it had Stevie J, they had redacted their names, and they had Usher, and they redacted their names and just said a performer of the Super Bowl and a Philly rapper. Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly.
When silence becomes profitable, 50 Cent has built a career on disrupting it. His role in this documentary isn't neutral, it's deliberate. He positions himself not as an observer, but as an instigator of uncomfortable questions the industry prefers to avoid.
Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit. And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mill's, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood whereas that he's dressing the same he dressing like Diddy, hugged up with Diddy. I think that Lil Rod know a lot of shit, but I know this. Two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos. And that's real talk, bruh. My man, you go to a party, dog, and the nigga got the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then, not to blow Meek Mill's up out the water or anything like that, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other shit, and he was searching for some online gay porn and all that other shit like that.
Oh, wow.
That shit crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this shit. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
Having survived the industry without depending on its protection, 50 speaks like someone who stepped away before the doors closed behind him. By choosing to speak now, he redirects attention from speculation toward accountability, placing pressure on those who remained quiet while power moved without challenge.
Meek Mill and P. Diddy matching outfits picture goes viral after Meek Mill comes up in this lawsuit, right? You got this lawsuit where this dude is suing P. Diddy and people been going through it. He brought, I believe, a Young Miami name came up in it, like about her cousin, doing some things. And then the dude also stated that P. Diddy was bragging about getting with somebody who is a Philadelphia rapper who used to date Nicki Minaj. Goddamn Meek. No, Meek, no. Boy's getting hot up in that kitchen now. It's getting hot up in that kitchen. So now all of a sudden, this pic done came out. They got the matching shirt on and all that. Boy, ain't looking good out here. Ain't looking good out here for Diddy and them. Ain't looking good. And this is just the beginning. You let them tell it, it's just the beginning.
To turn around and just tear his whole life down, but it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. It's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? It's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do it out, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You gotta have principles, you gotta have morals, you gotta keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bruh. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bruh. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that there's talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you had asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people do. We're gonna go back and you're gonna tell me what, we're gonna talk about this. You said, I'm gonna ask you how you feel, bro. I don't want no man to ever go to jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? But some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drug.
Meek Mill sits at the center of this narrative not as an accused figure, but as a complicated one. His career has been shaped by authority, survival, and constant negotiation from the streets to the courtroom to the boardroom. The documentary suggests that proximity to power may not have meant protection, but pressure, success tethered to expectations that are never written down, yet always enforced. In hip-hop, loyalty often demands silence long after the applause fades.
That sounds strange. Because you as a man, if you know you ain't do nothing and you ain't got no problem with nothing and you sure with yourself, you don't give a what nobody else say. Why you gotta hire somebody that you wanna make sure or prove to somebody else that you and Diddy didn't have a relationship when you know within yourself you didn't have a relationship with him? Tell him, give me that 100,000. I tell everybody, Meek Mills ain't do shit with Diddy. And make sure everybody know that. Don't make no sense as a man. They talked about Jesus Christ. What are you worrying about what they say about him?
Do you think maybe he just wants to know what the feds know about him?
The feds gonna let them know anyway. When Diddy gets discovery, if he lets this go to the point whereas that whatever the feds is charging him with, they have to give discovery. Now, they don't have to give and show everybody what's on those tapes. You understand what I'm saying? And those tapes could be locked up and sealed away for a very long time. But whatever they charge with, they're gonna give the defense team the discovery. And if it's seen that somebody is there doing something that appears to be illegal, and he's a part of that, it'll be in the discovery.
From what I understand, the feds are real tricky. It's not like the state where they let you know everything ahead of time. Like, a lot of this stuff you might not even know up until right before the trial starts.
They can't produce it still, bro. If in fact he's being charged with something, that's where you have your good lawyers tell the judge, nah, Your Honor, we didn't get that. You can't bring that in court like that. That's what you have good lawyers for.
One of the things that I think was, you know, I kind of just didn't understand it, but they're saying that Diddy is facing asset forfeiture. The government wants to seize the properties tied to racketeering, trafficking, and prostitution charges.
That's a good way of saying that what a black man has earned all these years for doing music, we want to take it away because he didn't get this from doing music, which is a lie. He got those things for doing music, selling alcohol, doing whatever he was doing. So now they want to put a crime on it and try to seize his property and seize his things that he has earned, which has nothing to do with what they're trying to charge him with.
Yeah, it's literally nothing to do with what he's being charged with, which is what I thought was kind of crazy, but
Diddy's public image has been meticulously curated over decades of branding and reinvention. But power rarely leaves visible fingerprints. Rather than direct accusation, the documentary examines patterns, tone, behavior, and how authority operates behind closed doors. His calm presence amid controversy reads less like confidence and more like familiarity, raising the uneasy question of whether chaos followed him or was quietly shaped by him.
I think I told you about that. One time, him and somebody, him, Sarah, and this young girl flew from Atlanta, and they, and flying from Atlanta, we had this artist with us, right? And we were staying in the presidential suite at the hotel. And this particular artist and Puff, they told me, don't let nobody come in the room. So I said, all right, cool. So I propped my chair by the room door while they went in. So this artist's cousin knocked on the door. So I went to him and I let him in because I knew him, I see his face and everything. I seen his face several times before. He said, yo, I gotta speak to my cousin. And I said to him, I said, well, they busy right now, man, and they told me don't let nobody come in the room. He said, yo, I'm going in the room to get my cousin out. And I said, bruh, you ain't going in the room to get your cousin out. They told me nobody could go in the room. So he said, I don't care who you are, what you doing like that. I'm going to get my cousin. He went to go and try to open the room. I grabbed his ass, joked him up, and slammed him on the piano. And the next thing you know, Puff and this artist run out the room naked. And so then I said, I see the artist trying to grab a towel. Puff didn't give a shit. And the artist like, yo, what's wrong? What's going on? What's going on? He like, yo, G, that's my cousin. And I was like, yo, my man, he was trying to get in the room and y'all told me don't let nobody else come in, let nobody come in this room. Jesus Christ gonna have to come take the, Puff no, Jesus gonna have to take the air out my body if anybody coming in that room. And Puff just looked at the artist and the artist said, you ain't wanna come up in there? It was a lot of on. That was it. And I ain't telling you the artist's name.
Oh man, so you ain't gonna tell the artist name, yo?
You ain't wanna come up in there? Cause it was a lot of freaking shit going on.
Was it a rapper or a singer?
It was a rapper. A rapper that probably do a little singing too. And that's all I'm gonna say.
The leaked audio didn't create the story, it confirmed it. Tone revealed what statements and denials never could: hierarchy, private authority, and aggression that contradicted years of public messaging. Once language meant for closed doors becomes public, power structures lose their insulation, and reputations must stand without protection.
Being fake because, you know, he had a relationship with Diddy. Like, how you feel about that?
My man, I can't judge Meek Mill as a man. I don't know Meek Mill as a person. You understand? And if he wants to say no Diddy, no homo, no this, no that, that's his choice. I know a lot of Phillies dudes and they strong out there, and some of my people are cool with Meek Mills. You understand? People. Some of my people are cool with Meek Mill's people. Meek Mills was a young guy, and Diddy was an influencer, and he may have influenced a lot of things that Meek Mills got caught up in the game in. Brother, I don't know Meek Mills as a man. You understand? I know some of his people through my people who knows his people. If Meek Mills want to say no Diddy, if Meek Mills want to say no homo, I don't have a problem with Meek Mill doing that. Meek Mill's got to deal with what he got to deal with based on the relationship him and Puff had. Dressing alike, being cozy, Puff calling him daddy, saying little innuendos to him. People are looking at that and saying Meek Mill is wrong for saying no Diddy. But you can't tell a man how to spend his money and how to make love to his wife or his Diddy. So, I don't know. I don't know, Mike. I just don't know.
Nah, I feel you, man. You know, I get it, man. I see where you're coming from. But I gotta ask you about this party, right, that Diddy threw for Meek Mill. You heard about how the owner, she came out saying that she found used condoms, lubricant, razor blades, powder, blood on the bed sheets. You heard about this?
No, what happened is that Diddy had rented a mansion out for Meek Mill's birthday party, and he had rented it for like $25,000. I remember we rented one of Cher's mansion out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the day he had fired his cook, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? It was me, Wolf, Mace, was Ock staying there? No, just me, Wolf, Mace, Puff, and there was one other person staying in the mansion. But anyway, long story short is that they came recently. This happened a long time ago, but they recently just made a statement that they found loads of cocaine. I wonder what they did with the cocaine, because they didn't turn it over to the police. They say they found loads of cocaine, razor blades. They said that the sheets were bloody, nasty. They found a whole lot of used condoms. And it was a Diddy party, given in Meek Mill's honor for his birthday. I was like, yo, wow. They said it was disgusting the way that they left the place. So I know they got hit with another bill on top of that $25,000 and the different deposits they had to put down for cleanup and all this other stuff. It was crazy. It was one of the property managers, they had rented out a mansion. I heard about that whole story.
Industry veterans didn't respond with shock. They responded with recognition. For many, the revelations echoed stories whispered for years and dismissed as rumor or resentment. Carefully managed legacies can delay truth, but they can't erase it. Eventually, unchecked narratives return, demanding confrontation.
But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that that Rat Pack, and I don't want to even say their names because they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner. What's the other guy? Leonardo. Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats, but I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shopped. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him, and him doing some things with some other people. So it's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing, and I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy. And they're gonna have to bring that to forefront because the prosecutor's gonna want those tapes. And they're gonna do whatever they have to do legally to get those tapes. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So we just better hope for his sake, that that's just a bunch of bull crap. But then there's lawyers out there saying, yeah, the tape does exist. Lawyers got on television to say the tapes exist. I don't really know or trust that, because they was trying to say he had a tape with one of the bodyguards and this lady that came out. So we don't know what to think until we actually see that and we get that version. You remember we had that bootleg version of R. Kelly tape?
Yeah, I remember that.
They don't even bootleg. Yo, they don't even bootleg no more, man. So it's gonna be hard to figure it out if it does exist.
Do you believe the guy in the tape is white?
If he's bigger than Diddy and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, and he was an A-lister, he was younger, you know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber?
This story extends beyond individual artists into the machinery of the industry itself. Behind every superstar is a network of executives, lawyers, financiers, and gatekeepers shaping outcomes quietly. The documentary suggests that protection isn't earned through loyalty, but usefulness. When systems fracture, individuals absorb the fallout, while the structure that enabled them often remains intact.
You just don't just turn in a matter of years the way he was doing people, man. You understand? Check this out, bro. He led Biggs to his death. He caused a rift between Wolf and BMF that led to Wolf death. Cussed Wolf mother out. Lied about owing him $300,000. Cause you had asked me how I feel, and I'm gonna get into how I feel. Took a good friend of ours who raised money when he had the City College tragedy. A good friend of ours did things to make him popular in Harlem. Let him hang with us, be part of our crew the whole 9 yards. Disrespected him and wouldn't help him. This is how I feel about him being locked up and going to jail. Some people, their karma is so strong for what they do and what they did. The stuff that he did to Craig Mack. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff that he did to Black Rob and all those people in the spiritual world right now. His karma was about to catch up and was bound to catch up with him. You understand what I'm saying? His karma was bound to catch up with him, brother. So, all these things that's going on right now, the learned behavior, what he got from these people who was not living spiritually correct with their behaviors and the things that they've done, he go and transfer and do that to people with the fact of all these people that he's hurt, that always helped him and been on his side and been there for him. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bruh. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself because he knew that he was wrong, and he knew that he learned something that wasn't right. He no different from right and wrong, bro. You have a way to change. You know when something is right and when something is wrong, and you know if you're wrong, you get help. He didn't choose none of that, bro. He chose to be who he is, and now he gonna learn. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Clip 10. What we're witnessing isn't just conflict between artists, it's the slow unraveling of an industry narrative built on image and control. In hip-hop, truth rarely arrives gently. And when it finally surfaces, the real question is not whether the story changes, but whether accountability follows, or history quietly repeats itself.